Hey y'all, what's up? It's those wrestling girls. It's your girl Krista B. And we are here to let you know to tune into Old Face Wrestling because they're one of the best podcasts out. And we follow them, so you should to subscribe, hit that button, and listen for the latest in wrestling news. Later.
Hey, this is Sofia Lopez from Women of Wrestling, and you are watching Old Face Wrestling.
That's right, Old Face Wrestling. Listen to the podcast. Listen, they are Dark Side approved. Hollywood approves it. Old Face Wrestling. I'll be listening. Will you?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today on O Face Wrestling. This is your host JT, and today I am joined by the MCW Tag-team Champions, Rush Hour, Tommy, aka Hot Boy, and Deion, aka Showtime. Thanks for joining us on the show today, guys.
No problem. Thank you for having me and us.
Yeah, thank you. Can you give me those nicknames one more time? Can you say it right though? I just want to hear it.
Tommy, aka Hot Boy,
there
and
you
Deion,
go.
aka Showtime. How's that?
There you
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah.
You got
That's how you start this podcast.
Sometimes, you know.
Okay, so for our viewers, how about you all yell it for us and how you do it during the shows?
Ooh. Deion, you want to go first?
Oh.
You got this one, baby.
Yeah, my girlfriend's going to be mad at me if I do it. So I'm going to do it anyway, just because it's with fans. Why not? You know, but usually when you say Showtime, you got to put a little oomph into it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, Showtime! And you put a little Showtime, you got to put a little oomph into it, you know?
Ooh, I like it. And then when you say Hot Boy, you got to end it with a question mark. But you got to be excited. You know what I mean? This is Hot Boy 101. You just got to end it with a question mark. Yell, Hot Boy! You know?
Yeah, like it's a question. Like, I like it. It's
I would have did it a little bit louder, but my roommate's upstairs sleeping, so I didn't want to wake him up. Because that's the last thing he wants to wake up to is hearing Hot Boy and Showtime.
It's a full send, brother. You can't half send Hot Boy and Showtime. You kidding me? You just got a full send it.
You can't, man. You can't, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so Deion and Tommy. So first question I got for y'all: how did you two form your alliance? Like, were you friends prior, or did you meet like an MCW?
Whoa.
Oh man, should I go first or should you go first?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Story.
You got it. You go first.
Well, okay. My side of the story, at least, is so originally, MCW, we were doing these breakthrough shows where we were like establishing like young talent that were like up and coming trainees who were graduating from the school or whatever, and they were putting them on shows. And the first breakthrough show was in January. And MCW has a rule, like their training rule, of you have to be like fully paid up to get on their shows. So like when that breakthrough show came up, I was like kind of expecting to be on it, like maybe something, but they didn't put me on it. And every month they just kept telling me to get paid up. And I finally got fully paid up, and they were going to team me with this other guy. I don't know if you remember Tahuti Miles or not. They were going to originally team me with him. And something changed. And then I guess one day they saw me and Tommy's chemistry together or something like that. I don't know what happened, but they decided to put us as a team. And we debuted in a show in May. It was a Spring Fever show in May. And we were looking for like a name, and we couldn't figure out a name. And even though like we're kind of like a name in itself, I mean, I know wrestling's kind of like stereotypes. It is what it is. But someone walked up to us, a former MCW pro wrestler walked up to us, and he said, "Hey, you guys should just do like Rush Hour." And I was like, you know, that's not a bad idea, man. Like, that's a pretty good name, even though it's like taken. So we had to like ask and get permission, but they like approved it. And I was like, oh man, that was the easiest thing. Cause I feel like the hardest thing for tag teams is finding a name sometimes.
Yeah.
And that one's kind of came right in our laps. And that's like my side at least.
Damn, you actually gave like the legit answer. You know, I'll give the cool guy answer. So I was training in South Korea to be a pop star, right? And then they came over to America, and I saw this guy named Showtime. He had some nice moves, he had some nice charisma, and I was like, you know what? Let's make a team. No, in all seriousness, that's it was just kind of by chance. I don't know what Deion is talking about chemistry, because in the beginning we had terrible chemistry. I remember the first time we tag teamed, I got so nervous I pushed him off the MCW
Yeah,
stage.
dude, pushed me off the stage. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was great. But yeah, no, I think when we debuted, after hearing the announcer introduce us as Rush Hour, I was like, yeah, no, this is it. This feels good. It feels right.
Yeah, like honestly, it just
Yeah.
your chemistry, like it just can't be taught. Like you all give us, like all the fans, the vibe that you two are like best friends in real life, just how you act together and all that kind of stuff. So it's just
yeah,
you two
of
are
course.
such a fun tag team because when me and my wife went to MCW back in December, that was our first MCW event since 2016. And the cool thing was we weren't familiar with many of the wrestlers. So it was our opportunity to kind of learn and pick who we want to, cheer for and root, all that based off of what we saw from the characters and, just, your in-ring skills and all. During that tag team match, I think it was like a 4-way tag team match that you all were in. And we instantly became fans of you all because we loved, the chemistry that you all had and just the yelling Hot Boy and Showtime and all that. We were just a fun tag team. And it was just just awesome how you all just won that match too to become the #1 contenders. So it's just like you two are just so entertaining and it just fits well. It's just chemistry right there. Kind of like, the Young Bucks.
I was always told that when opportunity meets preparation, it equals success. And I feel like we were just prepared for the opportunity. So when they presented it to us, we were ready. And now we just have to keep showing everybody that we deserve this opportunity. So
100%.
You definitely did. I mean, it's definitely been a fun, the 2 events that we've been to in the last 2 months. I mean, just seeing you all, it's definitely fun, entertaining watching your matches. And there's no doubt that you two deserve them.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Did you happen to be at the there was this one fatal 4-way tag match we had in, I want to say, December of 2018? Yeah, 2018. Were you there for that by any chance?
No. Yeah, I was the December in 2000, this year was the first one in a few years.
Okay. Okay. Of this year. Okay.
Oh, that's the one with you talking about the one with the joints, right? When we wore the joints, you talking about that one?
Yeah, he said when we won, that was the first time.
That was the first time I thought. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, but
that year is when we wore the Christmas sweaters, right?
Yeah. I was just gonna tell you. So that was the most you were so the one you saw was in Perry Hall where we were in our New Year's gimmicks, right, with the hats and the poppers and the glasses and everything, right? In December of 2018, the theme was Seasons Beating, so it was a Christmas themed wrestling event. So I had I still have them. I think, Deion still has them too. We got these custom-made Christmas sweaters. His says Showtime and Rush Hour. Mine says Hot Boy and Rush Hour. But at the bottom where the stomach is, I printed the MCW Tag-team Championships because it was another #1 contender match that we didn't happen to win that one. But then we wore those out. I think Deion had some. What was it? What's it called? I forgot what it's called.
It was like I don't know what it's called, but I was wearing it around.
Yeah, it's like the
bulbs or whatever in your ear.
I had the ornaments in my earrings. I was wearing ornaments, Christmas ornaments in your earrings. You had you had a golden trim that goes on a Christmas tree around your neck. You were wearing a scarf. That was great. That was I think that was the first time as a team we were that was the first time we had fun as a team. We were like, hey, all right, this is what we're doing with this. That was the first time we weren't given the ball, but we still ran with something. Because they didn't. That match wasn't about us. We were like, you know what, let's have some fun with this. But I think that was when it all started. And we were like, let's. We really clicked together, and that's when the chemistry really started. I'd say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to wait for that opportunity to just keep doing your thing, and you eventually got it. So I mean, it paid off in the end and all for you all. So
right.
My next question is usually my first question I ask, but how did you two get into wrestling?
Ooh, I guess I'm going first.
Yeah, you go ahead. You start that one. Yeah, you
start
that one.
Well, funny story. When I was a kid, my parents blocked wrestling from me. They didn't let me watch wrestling. They didn't let me watch really anything violent besides anything they they could know that I would know as a child isn't real. I wouldn't perceive as real. Like, you know, kung fu movies, martial arts movies, that's fine. They're like, oh, it's just a movie. He knows it's not real. But like wrestling as a kid, you know, they're like, oh, it's a blurred line. They didn't let me watch that. UFC, all that stuff, they didn't let me watch. And then my cousin one day was like, hey, man, I got this new game, SmackDown versus Raw 2006. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. I played that with him. I would visit him on the weekends. I would just play with him every weekend. That's when I got hooked. But then, so he's the one that put the idea in my head. He was like, hey, man, let's be wrestlers when we grow up. And I was like, you know, that sounds like a pretty sweet gig. You know what I mean? And then growing up, he grew out of it. I never did. And then eventually I signed up at another wrestling school, but that's not important. And then I signed up at MCW, which is the place to be. I've learned so much of the right stuff from great people, and it's just amazing. And I'm still learning to this day. So, and that's where I'm at, Deion, and that's where I am now. Like, it's great. If there's quick plug, if you're in the East Coast, period. I've seen people from Pennsylvania drive to MCW, but if you're on the East Coast and looking for premier wrestling training with results, I recommend the MCW Pro Wrestling Training Center, without a doubt. Don't hesitate. Go ahead, Deion.
Yeah. So how I got started is kind of similar. It happened when I was a kid. I don't remember like if it was the first time I watched wrestling or not, but I just remember every like summer I would go to my cousin's house in Baltimore. And it's a pretty rough part in Baltimore. Like, it's pretty rough, but you know, it's toughened me up, you know, for the streets. And basically, we used to have that little cable box. It was like this little box, and I guess it was stealing cable or whatever. I don't know. And every time we went over there, my grandmother, who I didn't know at the time, was always getting a disability check every month. She would always have a wrestling pay-per-view on, like a WWE, what it was called at the time, WWF pay-per-view. And I was like, oh my God, these guys live in a really bad apartment, but they are stacked because they keep getting these pay-per-views. And these things cost like $60, $50, right? Like, but I mean, you know, it was just like my mind as a kid. But I think the first like event that I can remember watching was WrestleMania 14. And I was like, kind of like, oh wow, this is a really great show. And I might have been like 5 or 4 or 5 or something like that. And I just remember watching Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, and I like kind of fell in love with Shawn Michaels as a kid, not really knowing that he was like hurt and he was gone for a while. So I didn't really get that concept until like later on as I was watching wrestling. But then like I was like hooked attitude there, and I was like my era. And in my house, we were strictly a WWE, WWF house. Like there was no WCW. We weren't watching that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I had no idea what that was as a kid. And fast forward to like 06, all the way to 06, WrestleMania 22. That was like the first WrestleMania that I paid with my own money. Okay, that like that was hard work. I had to cut a lot of grass for that money. And I ordered it, and Rey Mysterio that year, he won the World Heavyweight Championship. And that was when I was like, oh, okay, you know what? That guy's not really that big, and I'm not that big. I think I can kind of do this. And MCW, I got into them in was April 2017, like April 2nd or April 3rd. And it's been a great experience since then. They teach you the best. They teach you how to be safe. They teach you how to do moves proper. Like what Tommy said, man, I would recommend this to anybody who is on the East Coast area or anyone who just wants to train in MCW, because it is the place to be right now. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for everything. I can't wait to see what happens, you know, but this is the place to be. And I love training there. So, you know, that's kind of the story, man.
Jeez, man, you make me feel like a baby. You're just 14, dude. I remember like my first WrestleMania was like 25, and I had to stream it. I had to jump from like website to website. March 1, WrestleMania 25.
Oh yeah.
MP4, and I'm like, geez.
The streaming. Dude, I didn't find out about like streaming those shows until like 28. I didn't find out.
Oh, dude,
watch them on the internet for free.
I destroyed my computer with all those streaming sites.
Really?
Like, oh my goodness, dude, they were so bad with all the viruses, but it was worth it. Cause like, I remember watching it was the first Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Oh man, as a kid, I was like, yo, this is this is heaven. And then I remember, I think I saw that match in the cover of a newspaper in my neighborhood. And then that was when I was like, oh my goodness, like, that's huge. Sheesh. But yeah.
You kind of make me feel old saying that your first event you watched was 25, because like Deion, like I grew up watching in the late 90s, you know, during the Stone Cold and Undertaker days and all that and those days. But I regret like falling out of wrestling, because when I got like closer to high school, I stopped watching. I didn't start watching again until I was 20. So, and unfortunately at the time, like I had no idea about MCW. So it was like, I wish that I would have known that there was such a great training facility so close. Because I mean, Java, Maryland is like, it's only like a 45-minute drive for us. So that's something I definitely could have done. I mean, I don't know how much money it costs to do it, but like I've heard stories, because like my personal favorite wrestler is Ember Moon. She had to drive like 4 or 5 hours to go train with Booker T. Like not everyone has a facility so close to them, you know. So and so many like good wrestlers that are in WWE now have gone through MCW, Velveteen Dream, Leo Rush. Even wrestlers have gone to WWE and then have gone to MCW, Mickey James. So I mean, like MCW is like a big deal, and you know, having the convenience of that being so close is just like awesome for like all of us and all that. So it just, for me, like it sucks though, because I'm 30 now, so I'm not gonna start training now and put my 30-year-old body through that.
Dude,
You never know, man. It's
whenever
never
you
too
want to
late.
start, man. Yeah, like
never too late, man.
So he was like in his like mid-30s, man. Like you can start whenever you want, bro.
Yeah, I know he started like in his mid-30s too, but it's also too being in like I have like a full-time job and all that. And I'm in college too, so it's hard. But yeah, like I'm content with being a fan and watching the events too at the same time. You know, I've heard stories, about like I interview a lot of wrestlers and they all tell me a lot of the same things. So just going through the training and taking those first bumps and all, I'm kind of like, ugh. It's like, yeah, like anyone could go and drop kick someone, but when you land, how's that gonna feel? Are you gonna be hurt more than the other person? But
hey, man.
But yeah,
if it were easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
Oh hell yeah! I know it's not easy. Like, and that's one thing that pisses me off with being a fan. Like, I hear people all the time, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. It's not fake. Yeah, it's choreographed. The matches are fixed, but you're really getting slammed. You're really taking them bumps, and you won't realize how bad it is overall unless you're actually taking it. But just being there live, like when you hear someone slam against the ring, because you don't hear that on TV because of the crowd and how loud it is. But when you're there in person, you hear how loud it is when you smack on that ramp.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things with me was when they really showed us how to run the ropes, like really run them, and your back's getting like bruised up on the rope. Like those ropes kind of hurt too. Like,
oh yeah, I heard about
bumping isn't just the only thing, man.
Too.
Like,
because I know like a few years ago in a Rey Mysterio match, I forgot what promotion it was, but a wrestler actually died because when he does that thing where he does the 619 and throws you against the ropes, his neck hit the rope.
Oh yeah.
I think they instantly died. So I was like, those ropes are no joke. Not at all.
We just train you how to do everything properly, so that.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing too. I've heard with the training is you train and protect your opponent as well. Because like when you're in the ring with someone else, they're trusting you to be safe with their body as well as you're trusting them, to protect you and all that.
Yes. Exactly. Even if you don't like somebody, you also don't want to kill that person. So you just work with them and be professional.
Exactly.
That's what this business is, man. Just be professional.
Yeah, because I know it's all about trust, and like if they can't trust you, I know promotions won't book you. A few years ago, this wrestler, her name was Sexy Star. She intentionally hurt her opponent. I haven't heard from her since. Like I don't think anyone's booked her. Like it's all about.
Yeah, I remember that happening.
Remember that?
Yeah, you have to be a level of professionalism. Like no matter what happens outside the ring, you have to leave it there and control. Like whatever happens inside the ring is. You can't be affected by anything else. No personal matters. Like anything that's happened outside, you just have to keep it professional. Even though my bad, Deion, I pushed you off the stage. I'm a hypocrite.
That wasn't hate though. That was just low nerves. I'm not tripping about that.
That was all nerves. we had this handshake when we first started out too. We're gonna, oh man, we're gonna be so cool. We're gonna have this handshake at the top of our stage for our entrance. Everyone's like, yo, they're so relatable. And then I messed it up and I got nervous and I pushed you off the stage. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
You know what, though? Our handshake now is so much better, man. Like, it's just so simple. And
Yeah.
it just works.
Yeah.
It just works.
Thank God. I don't think we ever got that handshake right, whatever it was. I forgot it now, whatever it was. But, oh man, we never got it right. I think we did.
It was the show jitters, man. We could do it before a show, but like once the show started, that handshake was we destroyed that handshake.
It was gone. We just dropped it. It's okay.
I think that's what makes it better when you mess it up. That just makes it just funny, honestly. Like, but yeah. So my last question for you all is, when you won the MCW Tag-team Champions, like, how did that moment feel?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I'll start with this one. So when every wrestler, and I don't know if every wrestler goes through like a sense of like wrestling limbo or whatever, where they feel like, oh man, nothing's happening. They just keep doing stuff with us, but nothing's happening. And then like I had like an idea that it might happen, but I wasn't like 100% on it. But then when they told us, like, I tried to keep a straight face. Like, I tried to be cool in front of my partner, Tommy, like, to not like fan out or whatever. But when he told us, at least, like, my stomach dropped. And I was like, you mean like, yeah, you mean like for real? Or like, is this like, are you just telling me this so I can, just keep showing up all the time? Like, what's up? And then it really happened. And when it happened, I was super excited. And then after it happened, I was just like, all right, it happened. So now I'm just ready to move forward. So, but it was pretty surreal, like, when it happened. And I don't know, this might have been just me, but I definitely slept with that belt, at least like for the first week that I had it. So, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, you're not the only wrestler.
Yeah, no,
You're not the only one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were kind of, I don't want to say in a slump for the year before we won the belt. We were kind of plateauing. We didn't do too much besides some just some filler stuff here and there. But we did have some title shots, but there were at no point when they were giving us those title shots, me and Deion look at each other and go, wait, this might be it. It was just kind of, hey, let's just go out there, do our thing, learn from this, etc. And then this happened, after we won the number one contender, the Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match, and then we found out, we were going to get a title picture, and that was when me and Deion kind of stopped looking at each other and went, hey, maybe this might be something, like this feels different. This feels different from the past couple times. We had a hunch, but we didn't want to ask because we didn't want to. It wasn't because we were afraid of being wrong that we were gonna get the titles, but we were afraid that we were gonna be right, and they were gonna mess with us for that week going into the match. Like, oh my goodness, our expectations are so high. So we kind of didn't ask. We kind of left it on the table, and then when we found out, I remember Deion and I kind of made eye contact. Like, our eyes both went wide. Like, what? And then we both kind of just soaked it in. And then we went back to the back front change, and we both looked at it and went, what? Like, it still hadn't hit yet, really, until we were out there. The 1, 2, 3 happened, and that was, oh man, it was like, I don't even remember. It's like the 1, 2, 3 happened. I blacked out, and suddenly I'm holding the belt. Like, it was great. It was awesome. And then I remember I slept with the belt too. Oh man! And then I remember I woke up the next morning, or the morning after. We had Hollywood the next day, so I woke up after Hollywood that Sunday, and then my belt was gone, right? But I hear my parents like making a commotion downstairs. These are the same parents that never wanted me to watch wrestling or wrestle in the first place. So I go downstairs, and they're having like their own personal photo shoot with the belts. And that was when I was like, yeah, no, this is it. This is good. This is fine. This is This is what it's like to be a champion. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Yeah, but no, yeah. Winning the belts was an amazing feeling, but now we just got to get back to work and keep those belts and prove that we're champions.
Yeah.
That's just crazy that, I had no idea that y'all were like in a slump for a year. Like, I kind of feel like maybe me and Christy were good luck for you because our first show, you won the number one. Our second show, you won titles. And then
Probably, man, you need to come to all the shows
That
now.
sounds just about right, man.
And what's funny is
That's
like
about right.
my first show, Gia won the women's championship, and then we came and defended it. And then the match that we weren't there because we didn't go to the Hollywood one, she lost, count out. So it's like, yeah, I think we need to come to everyone now.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe slump wasn't the right word for it, but we weren't running with the opportunities we were given, and then that was, if anything, that was on us. So,
and speaking of Hollywood, man, if you ever get a chance to get out there to one of those shows, the crowd is like real.
Really?
That day we wrestled Black Wall Street. I love wrestling those guys. But the crowd is always live and like lit. Like that's probably the funnest crowd I've ever wrestled in front of so far. So, yeah, man, try to get out there to Hollywood.
I definitely want to. Like, what's crazy is I actually had front row tickets for that event, but like we mentioned before we started recording, Christy was so sick. Like, she suffered so much when we came on Friday. And then I didn't realize at first when I ordered these tickets, it was like an hour and a half away from our house. So I was kind of like, she's sick. I got work 5 o'clock in the morning the next morning. I was like, I want Friday, and it was fun, but I definitely need to get out there, honestly. Like, I in general, like, we're trying to travel a little bit more and go to more indie events and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're definitely going to,
Hey, man, we're going to need you next time we're out in Hollywood. You're the good luck charm. You kidding me? Show up to one event and suddenly we're number one contenders.
Mm-hmm.
I blame that year, that Taco year on you, man. You weren't there. How dare you? How dare you?
Well, I'm here now, and you're the champion, so it's working right now.
As you said, man, you're going to every show. I don't care what happens. All right, I will look you up, come into your house. We're dragging you out of the house. You're coming to some shows, man. All right.
Oh shit, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, if the tickets are affordable, the events, it's worth it. So yeah, I think we're gonna be at least, every month. The only challenge is when there's more than one event in a month, because I know we're going to the Future of Honor and then the Kurt Angle. I think it's, what is it called, the MCW Legends or something like that.
I think the anniversary show, is that tribute? I think that's tribute.
Tribute.
Or is that? I think tribute to the legend. I think this is the anniversary show.
Anniversary is on the 22nd.
Yeah, and then the tribute is, I think it's a little bit later down the year. But it's two shows. They're kind of similar, and they kind of pack the house. Both shows are pretty big. So, yeah.
Are you all excited to meet Kurt Angle?
Yeah. It's always great to meet, like, a new wrestler that comes in and out, and a wrestler that I've never seen before, a wrestler that I've grown up with. But you got to hold it all in together, because he's out there, he's taking pictures with fans, and he's giving autographs, and you got to just stay professional. Remember that we're both wrestlers, and we're at the same level. So we can't like on the inside, trust me, I'm going to be fangirling, but on the outside, I'm a strictly professional, strictly professional showtime.
Yeah, no, we'll shake his hand, say hi, be professional, but the second he leaves the room, me and Showtime are going to be like, oh my, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like you gotta act professional, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so
you're a fan. You paid for if you're a fan and you paid for the meet and greet and the photo, do whatever. Be a fan. Do what you want.
I mean,
what I mean?
Just put hoodies on and sunglasses, get in line, and fanboy.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Top boys recognized everywhere.
Oh heck yeah, man. It's hard to put on all the time because he's getting so paraded by so many people to walk around. I can't do it. So we just gotta it's gotta be private. She's 1 in the morning when there's nobody in the door. But it's funny you say that, because everybody said we had Ricky Steamboat at a Hollywood show once. Like, I
Oh
don't
my
care.
goodness.
And he was a really down to earth guy, and he shook my hand, and I didn't wash my hand for like 3 days because that was just great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody, like, I didn't grow up watching him. Of course, I was not even into wrestling, and you're watching wrestling to study. You watch stuff, and like you go down to that older line of wrestling, and you're like, oh my god, these guys are amazing. Stuff that, like, not even half of the stuff that the wrestlers today are doing, and it's getting a big reaction. Like, these guys, they know what they're doing, they know how to work, they know storytelling, and that's like what I love about wrestling. It's just all about storytelling and like feeling people's emotions and knowing how to, like, I don't know if this is the best word to use. I want to say manipulate their emotions in a way, because like that's just like the best part of wrestling. Because like that, even watching some of that old stuff, like I get goosebumps watching that stuff, and that's what makes me a
Yeah.
fan. You
Yeah,
know?
because like the thing is, wrestling's a lot different than it used to be back in the day. Like now, you see a lot more like acrobatic stuff, people flipping and jumping and diving out of the ring and all that kind of stuff. Back then, it was a lot more slow paced, and you had to tell a story. Like you had to be very character based and just go in there. And that's why, like, you know, like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair's very last match, that match told such a good story. Was it really that good of a match? I don't remember. It's been a while, but people don't talk about, you know, that match from an in-ring standpoint. They talk about the story and the ending. And like me as an old school fan, I
Right.
still like seeing that. I still like the stories and the characters and all that, which is why like I became fans of you all, because you all are very character based. You know, the Hot Boys, Showtime. It's fun and exciting. You can entertain the fans without even wrestling. That's still what I like. Like when The Rock comes out to cut a promo, he just talks and people just, you know, get excited. Like that's a very important part, and kind of it's, you know, kind of becoming a lost art. You know, at least in like WWE and all, like they're starting, you know, it's more wrestling, but I still like old school. Like I still like when wrestlers have masks or face paint. Like my favorite wrestler on the independent circuit is Holiday. I love her character and the face paint and just how she just acts and all that. Like so, it's like I can, like, you know, as a fan, like get excited when you all are out there just because of your character and how you all act and, you know, the stories that you tell in the ring. So like that's, you know, really important to a lot of fans.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, man, by the way. But I feel that also, bouncing off what both of you guys said, like, wrestling has gotten a lot more acrobatic and athletic, but I feel like the fun part in that is trying to find what makes that crowd go. Because I've wrestled in front of crowds that feed off of only, you know, the old school characters and characters and storytelling, and there are crowds that only want, you know, those high spots and acrobatics, and some crowds are a little bit of both. So I think the challenge in finding what fits where and how to mix the two, you know, genres together, that's also like super fun and rewarding when it does happen.
Yeah, because like the thing is, there's so many wrestling fans out there, and they all want something different. Like you said, it's hard, you know, sometimes to satisfy the fans. Like you said, some want the wrestling, some want the characters, some want the old school stuff, some want it all. You know, it's just finding a way to relate to the crowd that you got right in front of you. And I mean, it just in my
100%.
experience of being at the MCW events, I feel like that the crowd definitely eats you all up. That they love it, you know, they get excited. So I mean, that's good. Like, you're good for MCW and their fan base.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, so I think that wraps up our interview. I just want to thank you all, you know, both again for joining us today on O-Face Wrestling.
No, thank
Thank
you for having us.
us, man.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, when we saw y'all, like, yeah, we definitely got to get y'all. Then when I was talking to G, I was like, I didn't know that you date Deion. I'm like, yeah, we gotta, you know, ask.
Connections, man.
Yeah, connection.
Connections.
But do you all want to share your social media platforms with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram at Deion Epps, and I need to get a Twitter. Well, I have one, but it's not like super active. But it's also at Deion Epps on Twitter.
Ooh,
Follow
simple.
you.
I like it. And you can follow Hot Boy at Setto Tommy on Instagram and Twitter, both the same handle. And don't miss MCW's next upcoming shows. February 8th is Future of Honor. Be there to see current MCW stars, Future of Honor stars, and current Ring of Honor stars. And February 22nd, MCW Anniversary featuring Kurt Angle. And for any other upcoming shows, be sure to visit mcwprowrestling.com.
Yeah, if you're in the DMV area, y'all, make sure you check out those events, and make sure you follow us all on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at O-Face Wrestling. And once again, thank you all for joining us. And before we go, can we get one more Showtime and Hot Boy?
I knew it. I knew it. All right. I knew it. All right, let me warm up.
Oh, you gotta warm up. I can just do it. I can go straight out of nothing. Like,
oh, really?
all right, thank you for having us, O-Face Wrestling. You were talking to Showtime
And
Well, that was fun. Thank you all again, and thank you all for tuning in to O-Face Wrestling. Have a great day.